A crack does not mean that you're broken. It means that you were put to the test and you didn't fall apart. Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me here today. If you're new, I'm Amanda. Welcome to the channel where we are all about shattering the mental health stigma. If you haven't already, please make sure you make sweet, sweet love to that subscribe button. Give the bell a few kisses so you're not missing any of this content designed to help you with your mental health or help you help someone else. Today I'm going to be reacting to Save Your Story by Citizen Soldier. This is a request from George Castle, my amazing Patreon. Thank you so much for your love and support. It really does mean the world to me. I've done some Citizen Soldier now here on the channel, so I've been exposed. I feel like I'm getting in the groove. So let's keep that groove going.
Escape your life, so jaded you can't see. It's in your suffering and in your strife that purpose lives and breathes.
Yes!
If you wanna be a voice for the voiceless, gotta scream so you know that pain.
Yes!
Give a little hope to the hopeless, pay your dues in that dark place. Will you turn the light out, or be a human lifehouse? Will you fall apart or into place?
Ooh! First and foremost, my shadow feels kind of called out here, guys. But jaded is a good word because I think that we often focus so much on the internal narrative of our depression and anxiety symptoms that we forget how that shows up in the world, how that is expressed externally. And I know I've become bitter in a lot of ways as I've aged because I see suffering and I see all this cruelty and selfishness in the world, and it becomes very hard for me to continue to see the good and to see the world as a beautiful place. But what I've learned is that you don't always have to see the world as a beautiful place, or you don't have to see humanity as good. You just have to see the good in humanity. You just have to see the good in the world and find that. But if you want to be a voice for the voiceless, gotta scream until you know pain, I think was what it said. I have a really hard time memorizing lyrics. I apologize if I get things wrong sometimes. But you wouldn't take guitar lessons from somebody who'd never touched a guitar in their life, right? So you wouldn't take mental health advice from someone who's never struggled. And we couldn't support each other and help each other and be there for each other if we don't understand. And that's why a lot of us have been faced with rejection or with being pushed away or with being misunderstood, as not everybody has been in that dark place. But those of us that have are the ones that are taking the water back into hell for those that are still stuck there and are helping them find their voice.
Close to giving up on holding on. You'll never know what could have been. Who would you be if you had just stayed strong? You are more than what you're enduring. You can make it through the morning. All your pain is just a hero for me.
Yes!
Times you didn't quit. Well, you'll be remembered by what darkness did, or what you did with it. Will you turn the light out, or be a human lifehouse? Keep breaking down or break your chain if you're standing on the ledge.
I think that you'll be remembered by what the darkness did or what you did with it. I've never heard it put quite that way, but I really love having this new insight because it's really, really true. You can react or you can respond. You can think things through and try to find a solution. You never know what you'd miss if you let go. I made an entire vlog about that. I had written in my journal and I wanted to share that. I just made a list of all the things that I would have missed out on had I jumped when I was standing on the ledge myself, the things that I wouldn't have experienced. And my life isn't perfect, but there have been a lot of moments that I've just been so immensely grateful that I survived, that that song came on and I stepped down. But I had to fight for those moments. But you are more than what you're enduring. I've said that to countless people in various ways. I've not always said it exactly like that, but I'm pretty sure I have a time or two. I've said that to people so many times in various ways that you aren't your depression symptoms, you aren't your anxiety symptoms, you aren't whatever disorder you've been diagnosed with, you aren't your struggles. You're stronger than anyone can understand. You're stronger than you understand. You're stronger than anything life can throw at you. You're stronger than that. There's always another thing that you can put in your arsenal to fight, but there's always another way to fight. You can always fight back and you can always win.
So close to giving up on holding on. You'll never know what could have been. Who would you be if you had just stayed strong? You are more than what you're enduring. You can make it through the morning. All your pain is just a hero forming. If you can save your story. If you can save your story. If you can save your story. Save your story.
I feel like there should have been an or else right there. I kind of love that. I'm definitely going to add that to my Raise the Vibe playlist that I have when I'm struggling, when I'm having a day where I just need that reminder of my own power and how powerful my story can be and how we can use our story to help other people. And that's what this channel is about, is using our voice to take part in the movement toward breaking the mental health stigma. The word choice in this song is just divine, and I'm coming to really love Citizen Soldier for that. I'm so glad I got introduced to this band. I have no idea why I was never exposed to them, but I'm so glad that I got introduced to them, because I think that there's so many powerful reminders in these songs, and sometimes obviously artists can say it a little more poetically than your average Joe or Jane, but our pain is a hero forming. One of my favorite thoughts is that every superhero has a tragic backstory. Pretty much every single, I can't think of a single superhero that doesn't have a tragic backstory. It all depends on how they use it, because honestly, a lot of the villains have tragic backstories too, but they chose to use it for a different purpose. And my purpose absolutely couldn't have come into fruition had I not been through that darkness, had I not had my own tragic backstory. My purpose could have never come into fruition. And now I'm seeing how many ripples I can make in the pond. And I know people look at someone like me and say, oh, well, she has all this influence, or she has all of this power, or she has money, or I promise I don't. I promise I don't have any of those things, but I chose to use my voice to speak out for the people who are still in that darkness. I chose to be that lighthouse that they could come to. That was one of my favorite parts of it, because I do like to think of that. Even though lighthouses tend to have the rumor of being haunted, so a lot of them have that rumor of being haunted. Even though they're haunted themselves, they're still serving their purpose for others. Now I can be a lighthouse, as I said, leading people out of the dark. I don't believe that there's a single person whose story is unsavable. I hear a lot of people say, I'm beyond help, I'm beyond hope. No, you're not. That's your shadow talking. That's the depression symptoms, the anxiety symptoms talking. I don't believe anyone is beyond help. It might take some editing, some proofreading, some rewriting, but the beautiful thing is that you're not turning in the finished manuscript yet, so you still can do that. You can still go back and edit and proofread and rewrite and make the changes that you need to your own story. You can rewrite your life at any point, any day. It doesn't need to be the new year. It doesn't need to be some arbitrary date or arbitrary time. Any point you can say, hey, this isn't working for me. I need to try something else. I need to try again. I need to keep trying. But things rarely come easily. Things rarely just work out for people or happen for people. Healing with your mental health, healing from struggles, healing from trauma, healing from grief, those things aren't simple. They aren't just achieved. It takes time and it takes a lot of work and it takes going through a lot of pain, because we're kind of conditioned to believe that pain is something we're supposed to avoid, but unfortunately the human experience does come with suffering, and we have to learn how to navigate that. Thank you so much, George, for another song that I'm going to have in my arsenal when I have a day that I might need lifted up a little bit. I love having that playlist to turn to. I love having that music to turn to. And thank you guys for being here. As always, good, bad, and crazy. Share your mental health stories here in the comments. That's how we shatter the stigma, is by talking about it. Share this. You never know who might need to hear it. And I love you guys so much. Mwah.